All right, y'all. Welcome back, man, to the Hear Me Out podcast and association, y'all. With True Hall of Fame, I'm your host, Michael May. We got work to do tonight, people. We got work to do tonight. We got work to do tonight. Now, as y'all already know, as we always do here on this channel, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button, turn on notifications so you guys know when I go live each and every time. Today, y'all already know all parties are innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm not on Cassie's side. I'm on the side of the law. People, you're gonna hear things today. I told y'all this. You're gonna start hearing things. Now, I was sleeping. I literally just woke up to come do this live stream for y'all because my wife was like, yo, you've been saying, yo, look what's going on in this Diddy trial. Look what's going on. I was not gonna stream tonight. I was gonna sleep till about midnight, wake up and play me some Call of Duty. Hold on. Alright, so he goes, we on the side of the law. Y'all already know what we do here, man. Cam, what up? Shout out to those who are already in the live stream early. But first I want to say shout out to Donald Trump for trying to make moves for Larry Hoover. Real talk. That's pretty fire on Donald Trump's side. Shout out to him for that. So I wanna dive right in, right? I wanna dive right in with this. Cause now it seems as though people are getting a little concerned. Soda, you see I'm not playing 2K, dogs. Last time I'm gonna let you troll me. The very last time I'm gonna let you troll me, dogs. You see I'm not doing 2K right now. Stop distracting the program, man. So hear me. So now everybody's concerned about this Gina chick. People, today there was a little makeup artist that came forward. Okay, you're gonna hear things today being said that I've already told you guys. They're wondering what's going on with Gina. Why doesn't Gina want to testify? I want you guys to understand. I told you this then, I'm going to say it to you again. I think right up until the minute Diddy was locked up, I think Gina was still with Diddy. And I think the reason why now, I'm saying I think, I'm not confirming nothing, but I did tell you guys last week, I said, After I heard Kid Cudi talk, who remembers? Who remembers? I said, after I heard Kid Cudi talk, I said they better not let Gina take the stand. Listen, they brought up Kid Cudi, Cassie's friend, and then they brought up this Canyon lady or Crayon lady, a connect Caprini, whatever her name was from yesterday. All of these people made Cassie look worse. I told y'all, nobody helped Cassie. This is when I told you, people are saying it like, oh, now people are saying it after I said it on day 2. I said the worst thing they did was they brought Cassie up first. I said this is gonna be their fatal mistake, because Cassie was supposed to be like, look at this video, look, he's kicking me on the floor, look, he's making me do all this stuff with guys and all this. But today we're gonna review some things. So now the defense attorney, the defense team, they're trying to get rid. People are like, if Diddy has nothing to hide, why would he want the defense team to get rid of the car thing? Because forensics show the fingerprints at the scene were of a woman. But listen to me, they're like, but Diddy's the mastermind behind it. Diddy's the people. They are trying to throw Diddy, no matter what, under the bus. They don't care how they gotta get him. They just want to get him. They don't care what evidence they gotta burn, who gotta lie. They just want him at this point. I need y'all to understand something. That alone is not looking good to the jury. Like, why are you trying to get this man so bad, but y'all guys are not doing it? Y'all not showing us nothing. But before we start, y'all already know, once again, I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm not on Cassie's side. I am on the side of the law. And if we're going strictly off of what we're going to hear, it seems like there's nothing here. There's nothing here to stick to the ribs. But listen, y'all, let's get we got Mr. Gene back. Mr. Gene is back. Shout out to Art of Dialogue, Fair Use, shout out to them. Mr. Gene is back, y'all. Let's go.
Bro. Because what the prosecution, the defense trying to do, the defense is trying to, you still got Gina, and the prosecution, the defense was trying to tell the prosecution, well, she's not a witness, she's not a witness. They want the prosecution to hurry up to bring Gina in so Gina could paint the picture that like everything was consenting.
Now, the defense did, see, this is more lies, y'all. The defense, what they're saying, what they said, is not that they don't need her, no. See, here goes more lies, more fabrication, more stories. People, the only reason why the defense team is like, dude, if you can't have your witnesses lined up ready to go, my client is waiting in here to walk free. What are we doing here? Why are we taking so long? Like, Let's bring these witnesses so we can see what's going on, so we could start cross-examining. We're not gonna wait a whole 2-3 months just so you could find somebody. Now, I want you guys to understand, because you're gonna hear some things today, and I need you guys to understand what they mean, because some of you guys may skim over things and misunderstand a lot. That's the reason why I gotta go over it. But let's keep rocking and rolling.
Because she's been paid off.
And this is the one that disappeared, right?
Yeah, this is the one who disappeared.
So now she's been paid off. People, I want y'all to understand. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm gonna say, y'all. Listen. Before the case started, Gina was on board. Now all of a sudden, she doesn't want to testify. Listen. Now people want to say, oh, she got paid off. Diddy's people she's in fear of her life. How many of y'all were there, once again, when I said it? When Kid Cudi, when they came out and he said, and the defense said, wow, so Cassie played the both of y'all. And when he was like, yeah, that Cassie's being testifying took a hit. Then Cassie's best friend saying things like, yeah, we would take drugs even when Diddy wasn't there. Like, we would do all this stuff even when he wasn't. That takes a hit. With the inconsistency of Cassie's best friend's story, that my room was directly across from theirs. So that means you saw everything. Well, I didn't really see anything, but it's like, from what I think I saw, from then 1 minute it's, I believe I saw, then it's, I think Diddy grabbed her and drugged her 75 feet. So you saw him do it. Well, not really, but like, I saw him like drag her up for a little bit. Like, so what's going on with the story? And yesterday, the lady from yesterday, she was the worst. Because she pretty much, remember, Cassie said Diddy derailed her career. That was a lie. Because she clearly came out and said, oh, Diddy gave her all Diddy's resources were at her fingertips. Diddy was putting more resources behind Cassie than any other bad boy artist at the time. So who's telling the truth? So now let's pay attention. Because I'm telling you right now, Gina's the only person that they really want. But I told you guys this. I truly believe that Gina would hurt Cassie and hurt the prosecution more than it would help. I've been said that. I said it once Cudi to the stand. I said she's done. I said she's done. Now, let's keep listening to Gene Deals. I mean Gene Lies. I mean Gene Deals.
This is the one who they could get her. There's nowhere she could go that the federal government, if they want you, that you can't be got. You understand what I'm saying?
See,
if the federal government wants you that bad, you'll be gotten, bro.
Now, if the federal now he is saying something. If the federal government wanted to get Gina on the stand, there's nowhere she could run. He's right. So why don't they bring her? Why don't they subpoena her? Because they know what I've been saying this whole time. Gina would hurt. Gina would hurt the prosecution. Why? Because she was there before Cassie. She was there before Young Miami. Shit, fuck around. I think she could have still been there around J-Lo's time. And I will say this. I know Diddy was taking care of all these girls' lives. I know he was. And here's the thing. And now we know that Gina didn't like Cassie. Cassie didn't like Gina. And now they're afraid that she would sabotage the trial. Let's keep going. I'm gonna let you listen to Dean Rio.
There's too much technology, photo imaging. There's nowhere she could go. She Asian, you know what I'm saying, half Asian or whatever like that. She might like Chinese food, rice or whatever like that. She got to go somewhere to get something to eat. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. So now she come and she testified in behalf of Diddy. They want the prosecution to bring her in. They know she's a hostile witness. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be here, this, that, and other. She made a post, I'd rather be at Chanel and all this other shit like that. That's the girl who took off the payment. She took the $2 million payment from Diddy and them when she got on Tasha K. I think Diddy may have gave her $2 million or something like that. Got her in school, gave her an apartment out in LA, still was messing with him. Come on, man. Brainwashed. But she did talk to the federal government.
So hold up. So he said brainwash. People. He said brainwash. It's sad I gotta do this shit, but I got to. Definition of brainwash. The process of pressuring someone into adopting radical differences by beliefs by using systematic and often forcible means. Didn't Jean just say she made a post, I'd rather be at Chanel and XY? Hold up, let's play. Listen, y'all, I just woke up. Maybe my ears. It could be my ears. Maybe I hear shit different when I'm tired. Hold up.
That's the girl who took off the payment. She took the $2 million payment from Diddy and them when she got on Tasha K. I think Diddy may have gave her $2 million or something like that. Got her in school, gave her an apartment out in LA. Still.
Now, I'm confused. Fellas, only my fellas can answer this. No lady, no woman in here can answer this. Just fellas, hear me out. He put her in school, got her a crib in LA, gave her money. Fellas, is this not what most women tend to ask for? They want to be taken care of. They want certain things. They want this, that. They want the lavish lifestyle. Is this not what most women, what do you hear all over social media? A real man is going to pay for all the bills and take care of all of this. Now, I know this morning I didn't do man talk because I wasn't feeling well. I woke up with a really bad headache. I feel a little better. I am, in the morning, I'm definitely doing man talk. Get ready for me in the morning. Turn on notifications, y'all. In the morning, we definitely going in. We definitely going in. But hear me. Isn't this what all women ask for? Isn't this what all women tend to want when they dealing with somebody like Diddy? They want him to pay for things. They want him to put them up somewhere. They all get apartments. Young Miami had an apartment. Young Miami got things paid for. I see. Maybe it's just me. Okay. Some of y'all gonna say, "True, you reaching." All right. So I want to get into this video right here, right? This was from. He go, but some women can't leave when the man gets violent? Okay, let me answer that. Fajita, alright. Let me answer that. But some women can't leave when the man gets violent. Fajita, I'm gonna need you to answer why. Why not? Why not? See, cause this is a big part of this argument, right? This is what the judge, this is what the defense attorney has to prove. You ready? So but now while you answer that, let me I don't want to say destroy what you said. Let me just let me loosen up some of the screws to that vague argument you just made. So why did Jennifer Lopez leave? Okay, so why wasn't Jennifer Lopez afraid of retaliation? Why wasn't Jennifer Lopez? Diddy has kids with none of these women, so it can't be the kids. So why did Jennifer Lopez leave? People, see? Now, I'm not coming at Fajita. I'm just trying to see, you know what it is? Because some people don't understand. They don't understand what a choice is and what real force is. He goes, she had to make a movie about abuse. Alright, Fajita, you gotta come with a better argument than that. She had to make a movie. She had to. You see, people, this is the problem I have with people being able to reciprocate, converse logically, using your brain. So I said, so why did Jennifer Lopez leave? You said she had to make a movie about abuse. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What? Okay. I'm gonna say this again. The reason why Jennifer Lopez left is not because she had to make a movie. No, it's because Jennifer Lopez already had a career before Diddy. She had things going before Diddy, so she could move. Because though Diddy was powerful, Diddy couldn't hold her stagnant. Now, when it comes to Gina, ready? Because Kim Porter knew about Cassie. Kim Porter knew about Gina. Now, she wasn't here to know about Young Miami, but ready? So Kim Porter, I'm not gonna speak on dead. I don't do that. But the story goes, she would still get with Diddy from time to time. But why? If anybody had more of a reason to try to stay with Diddy, would be Kim, because she had kids with him. Diddy has kids with her. So I could kind of understand that a little bit better. But Cassie being ready, now I'm gonna say this, Fajita. The problem is this: women tend to choose money over safety. they tend to choose money over their priorities, money over their morals. So if, keyword, women tend to choose. It's a choice. So when Cassie's girlfriend took the stand and said, girl, why don't you just leave? She said, I can't. Why? What you mean? I'll lose my car. I'll lose my house. I'll lose everything. My crib, I'll lose. So clearly, her best friend hurt her on the stand. Because what she just admitted to the world was, Fahita, it was a choice. All right, y'all. Here we go again. I'm showing you that Fahita is being emotional because they don't want to end up homeless. Wow. People, we really can't make this shit up. People, I really can't make this shit up. So Fahita, they can't go to work? Hold on. So Fahita, they can't go to work? They can't go get a job? Clearly, Cassie moved from LA back to Connecticut to go stay with her parents. No. You're making horrible arguments. How would she be homeless? She can't get a job? Cassie left LA to move back to Connecticut to move back in with her parents, with her children and her husband. She couldn't move back in with her parents by herself without Alex Fine because it happened before Alex Fine. So she couldn't move back in with her parents? See, this is why people subscribe to the channel, because you guys understand that I am literally one of the most logical, non-biased people on the planet. Now, she said Diddy might come for her. Isn't that what you want? Wouldn't you want Diddy to come for you? So you could actually have proof of violence? Proof of violence? Isn't that what you would want? You see, listen, Fahita, no matter what you say, the reason why I would have a response, she said not to kill me. All right, this is what we're gonna do. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna time Fahita out because Fahita's killing the stream. Fahita, you sound dumb as fuck. You sound dumb as fuck. I'm sorry, Fahita. I timed him out. I timed him out. Fahita sounds dumb as fuck. To kill me? To kill me? People, I can't make this shit up. People, I cannot make this shit up, y'all. I cannot make this shit. People, this is why I tell you, if you're gonna make an argument in my comment section, please make sure that you can articulate yourself and you can actually have an argument, a rebuttal, something that makes sense. Don't come at it with these emotional arguments. Now let's dive back into this, cause that was weird. That was weird. To kill me? I'm gonna say it again. If she left Diddy, if Cassie left Diddy on 3 different occasions, if Cassie left Diddy on 3 different occasions, and she came back. Why did she come back? Because she understood the lifestyle that she wanted comes with Diddy. That's the reason why I tell women, y'all better be careful dealing with powerful men, because there is an expectation that comes with dealing with the powerful man. Most of you chicks be like, I want a man that makes 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and all of this. But then you want to say, I want monogamy. He's gonna look at you like, if you don't get your monogamy ass the fuck up out of here, because you know you have to conform to his lifestyle. He doesn't conform to yours. So that was dumb. That was dumb.
If you've been following this Diddy trial, you have heard it all. The
Listen.
free coughs, the baby oil, the violence, the threats.
As you can see, will Diddy walk? The defense bombshell that will bank on. The bombshell they are banking on. Listen.
Celebrity meltdowns. But today, we are flipping the script. Because while the prosecution's case is shocking and disturbing and, yes, graphic beyond belief, there's one question that keeps coming up in the courtroom. And in the comment section, too. Could Diddy actually beat the rap? But first, this is a drop-dead serious legal alert. If you received Depo-Provera birth control shots and you were later diagnosed with a brain or a spinal tumor, see if you qualify. And honestly, feel free to send...
DialPad AI works for you and your customers. It won't fall in love with them,
but it will help you against him. Remember, the stakes here couldn't be higher, folks. He is being held in a federal prison right now, not even in a jail.
Oh, I gotta see what that video is right there. It says breaking. Everything just changed in the Diddy trial. It says Diddy soon free. I'm gonna have to see what that's about. But you ready? If you listen to other content creators, like I always say, they're sensationalizing. They're sensationalizing the case. Oh my God, they said this and they said that. Listen, y'all, listen. People all over the place are like, we haven't heard nothing yet. We haven't seen nothing. Listen.
He's actually being held in a prison, and the judge refused to allow him bond, right? All while he's waiting for this trial. So if he wins the case, he also gets sprung from months and months of incarceration. So let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. In this case, is it really about a criminal enterprise? Or is it, like Diddy's lawyers say, just a deeply dysfunctional relationship along with Diddy's self-proclaimed swinger lifestyle that's being blown up into a federal RICO case? Let's start with the core of the defense, okay? Their argument is that this was not about crime. It was about chaos, emotional mess, drugs, love, betrayal, and a kinky swinger lifestyle. But Diddy's lawyers are crystal clear. They say it is not a racketeering case. Tenny Garagos, who, yes, is the daughter of uber-famous criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos, she told the jury in opening statements, quote, "He's not charged with being mean. He's not charged with being a jerk." And when the government played that now infamous Intercontinental Hotel video, the one where Diddy throws Cassie to the ground in the hallway and then violently kicks and punches her and drags her, the defense didn't even flinch. Instead, Diddy's defense lawyers called it what it was. They said it was horrible, dehumanizing, violent, and terrible. Domestic violence, yes. But they said not evidence of organized crime. And that is a key difference here. That the
Now, people, ready? Who remembers the running back? I'm not going to say his name. The running back from the Baltimore Ravens, who he had an issue with his lady. He wasn't here for he didn't get locked up for racketeering. the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. He didn't get locked up for racketeering. People go through things in relationships. People go through people, and I showed you back when I first started this Diddy trial. I said, what everybody forgets, I'm gonna say this again, what everybody forgets, studies show that what the person who tends to be the abuser is the women. Women tend to initiate 71% of all incidences in their relationship. Cassie's no different. It came out day 2 of the case that Cassie was the one who was punching Diddy in his face in the middle of parties. She would mush him, snuff him. This is all, people, hear me. I guarantee you the reason why Diddy's defense is just sitting back, because when it comes to the end and they're the ones who are pushing their information, Cassie already looks bad. Cassie already looks like a bad witness. According to Kid Cudi, according to her best friend, and damn sure according to the lady from yesterday, Mrs. Korn, she looks awful. Awful. But now, you're going to turn around and say, let's not forget, Cassie was the one that was putting her hands on this mega star first. Witnesses said that Cassie was the initiator. Now, 2 wrongs don't make a right. But let's be clear, if I'm Diddy and you putting hands on me in front of all these people and I'm this powerful man, at some point in time, any of you guys would snap. Any of you guys would snap. And if you think that I'm lying about it, maybe you need to check yourself. Because if I'm this powerful man, you ain't putting hands on me, dogs. You ain't putting your hands on me, dogs. I tell you that right now. First time you put hands on me, I'm like, hey, listen, hey, check this out. I don't care where we at. Next time you swing and put hands on me, I'm knocking you cold the fuck out. Straight up. Straight up. Why? Because you're not gonna sit here. See, because you know what? Like I told y'all guys, I'm really about equality. Women always say equality, equality, equality. I could do everything a man could do, and I could do it better. Anything you can do, I can do better. Okay, cool. Equal rights, equal lefts. If you're gonna put hands on the man, maybe Cassie's father should have taught her. Maybe they need to bring Cassie's dad on the stand. Yo, why you never taught your daughter how to not put hands on men? How about that? Did you ever think about that? Then you got niggas out here like Gene Deal and all these other content creators. Cassie was innocent, but according to what Ryan Leslie said last night, which I showed you, he met Cassie dancing on top of the tables in a club. No wholesome young woman is dancing on the top of the tables in a club. Am I understood? Are y'all understanding what's being said? So we ain't talking about J-Lo had to leave and make a movie about it. Like, stop. 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 So stupid. Let's keep going.
Jury's
Listen.
gonna have to decide, because racketeering isn't just about bad behavior or committing crimes even. It's about structure and hierarchy and enterprise. Prosecution's got to prove that Diddy used his business and his money and his people to carry out a pattern of serious crimes. And they have to prove that he committed at least 2 predicate acts, 2 crimes on the list, over a 10-year period, using his enterprise in order to prove racketeering.
They have to prove, listen, they have to prove that he did 2 forms. That's why Diddy's attorney is smart for saying, listen, we need to get rid of that Kid Cudi car incident, because clearly the forensics shows that it was female DNA. So that ain't got nothing to do with my client. Let's get rid of that. Cause once they get rid of that, they have 1 less proof. But so now people are trying to say, but we truly believe that Diddy did it. It ain't what you believe. In court, it's not what you know. It's what you can prove. And they cannot prove that Diddy did it. Well, we feel and we believe that Diddy was behind it. We don't care what you believe. We don't care what you believe. Can you prove that Diddy was behind this cocktail thing on Kid Cudi's car? No? So let's get it out of here. This is why their case is falling apart. But let's keep going.
It's a high bar to clear. So,
because you're going to see her get into an all-out debate with the actual lawyer, and you're going to pay attention. I want you to hear, people, because I want to show you 2 different sides. And nobody else is breaking this down like me, y'all, because they can't, because people don't look for things like this. Now, because this lady is totally against Diddy. She's totally against Diddy. But she's like, people are asking like, can he go free? Do they have enough proof? So she has to report on it. But listen.
When it comes to Cassie, yes, her testimony was brutal. She described years of what she said was control, abuse, coercion, and violence. But according to Diddy's lawyer, that wasn't the full story.
Right. Shout out.
They pointed out timeline inconsistencies in Cassie's story.
Yep.
Did the alleged rape happen in August or September of 2018? They said Cassie stated both dates. They brought up texts.
Now, listen. So that, cause don't let it go over your head, y'all. People, listen, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We got 130 in the building. Hit the like button. Now, you heard that she said, remember, Diddy raped her in 2018. Was it in August or was it in September? Both occasions. Listen, this is what Fajita didn't understand, because Fajita's not listening to the evidence. Fajita's going based on emotions. Hear me. If Diddy raped you on both occasions, but then you take the stand and they ask you, so Diddy raped you in August? Yes, he did. Okay, so why did you go back to him the second time? Well, I just wanted to pretty much keep a good rapport. She ended up sleeping with Diddy again and said it was consensual. That you don't just forget about love like that. You don't forget about love. Isn't she great? Do you hear the inconsistencies? So did Diddy rape you both of the times? Or or one time was consensual. No, it was consensual. And there it goes. There are so many cracks in Cassie's story. Like I said, I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm not on Cassie's side. I'm on the side of the law. But if I'm going based on the evidence that are presented, nothing here shows RICO. There are so many holes in everybody's story. Let's keep going.
That Cassie sent just days after that alleged rape, where she told Diddy she missed him and that she was excited to see him. One explicit message even read, quote, "I miss that dick," end quote.
So hold on. So Fajita, for you, since you watching, in case you didn't, let me play that back. Because, like I said, Fajita's the only one in denial.
Diddy she missed him and that she was excited to see him. One explicit message even read, quote, "I miss that dick," end quote. Then there were the emails, the gushing emails where Cassie told Diddy that he was the love of her life, that she cried over him, that she wanted to do the freak-offs, that she'd buy the supplies, even texting him from the studio saying, quote, "Let's make it a weekend so we can recover from the freak-off," end quote. The defense showed jurors messages where Cassie asked if they needed more lube, where
But Fajita talking about for him to come kill her? For him to come kill her? It don't sound like somebody who's in distress to me.
Cassie planned outfits, where on the way to a freak-off, she offered to go back and grab the iPad that she'd forgotten. The same iPad she said that Diddy used to film the kinky sex and then threatened to release those videos as blackmail. And the defense didn't stop there. They introduced an audio recording of Cassie screaming at a man named Sujit, threatening to kill him if he didn't share with her a sex tape that Sujit had claimed was circulating and that featured her prominently. The audio was damning.
What are we talking about here? You ready? This is a great example of a woman wanting a powerful man until the powerful man turns it on her. This is the reason why I always tell you fellas, you gotta learn how to stay on your toes with these women, because it's all fun when, yeah, my man could do this. You know how powerful my man is? You know how powerful my man is? And all of a sudden now I'm docile, and I'm like, I'm just this, I'm a flower. I'm an innocent little flower, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do. People, this is damning. But according to Fajita,
Cassie saying, quote, "I will fucking kill you. I will cut you up and put you in the dirt," end quote. And the defense kept pressing issue after issue. They asked why Cassie kept seeing Diddy after the alleged. Why did she ignore a FaceTime call from her now husband while she was having consensual sex with Diddy after the alleged.
But you let Fajita tell you the story. I'm grateful that Fajita don't got a YouTube channel, because I would hate to hear what she got to say. She gonna make up stories like Gene Deal. She gonna be out here like, what really happened was, not what the court showed, but what really happened was. There's a reason why I'm up here and you not. As somebody who's in the armed service, who deals with law, having to make sure you on the right side of the law. So far, I'm not on Diddy's side, I'm not on Cassie's side. From what I hear, nothing shows nothing for Diddy.
They asked why Cassie instructed her friend Carrie Morgan, her best friend at the time, to stay quiet after Diddy allegedly threw a hanger at Carrie and injured her. They asked why Cassie encouraged Carrie to accept $30,000 and sign an NDA. By the way, if you're new to this podcast, every so often Atlas, my dog, is in the shot, and he wants a cookie, so you'll hear crunching, which I think is kind of ASMR, and you'll also sometimes hear him cough, but that's Atlas, and he's always here. They asked why Cassie accepted a $20 million settlement from Diddy after suing him in November of 2023. Incidentally, the contents and the allegations that were laid out in that civil lawsuit from Cassie formed the basis of the federal investigation and the federal charges against Diddy. It's what brought him to the federal courthouse in southern Manhattan in a trial where Cassie...
Now pay attention, y'all. Y'all see this picture right here? This is Cassie's 21st birthday in Vegas. When obviously you still see Ryan Leslie here, right? Because Ryan Leslie was still with Cassie at the time. And a little further down the road, the same night, Diddy ended up kissing her for the first time on her birthday. So much for them other content creators who be out here lying, right? This is why you guys gotta subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Cause everybody ain't giving it to you the way I am. Let's keep going.
Was the star witness. Diddy's lawyers asked why Cassie accepted another $10 million in a settlement from the Intercontinental Hotel after that infamous hallway beating. They asked Cassie why she canceled her upcoming music tour at the same time the money from the settlements was rolling in. Was it a mega payday for her, which meant that she'd never have to work again? Diddy's lawyers wanted the jury to think about Cassie's allegations.
But here's the thing. Cameron says she rich at this point. Here's the thing. The minute it came out, the minute Cassie walked off the stand that Friday for the last day of testimony, there is a defamation of character lawsuit from Diddy to her for $20 million because she wasn't supposed to take the stand. Now, I keep telling you guys, Diddy paying off Cassie was not because of the video, was not because of why he did it. The reason why, and it wasn't because of guilt. It wasn't guilt, people. I'm gonna say this again. The same reason why they said Shannon Sharp should have just gave the girl the $50,000, the same way they said that what's his name? What's this guy? Keep forgetting the rapper's name. Anyway, people just pay people off so they don't have to deal with the media circus. But now that Diddy has to deal with the media circus, defamation of character, because they offered Cassie damn near immunity. Like, we're not gonna prosecute you as long as you turn your back on Diddy. This is why they're offering everybody all of these deals. They're like, we're gonna make sure that we don't take you down, but you gotta help us get this guy. That's the reason why I think, and I told y'all guys, after Kid Cudi went up, Dawn fucked up the whole shit. Once Kid Cudi went up, I said they better not bring Gina up, cause Gina is gonna make Cassie look worse than what she already looks. We're gonna get there, y'all. I got time tonight. I got a little bit of time. Listen.
And then ask themselves, was this trauma or was this leverage?
Whew.
And if you're the defense, here's why things really start to sound less like racketeering and more like a celebrity breakup from hell.
Oof.
Cassie herself admitted that she was jealous of Kim Porter. Cassie admitted that she had a burner phone to talk to her other boyfriend, rapper Kid Cudi. And Cassie admitted that she sometimes felt like a, quote, side piece, that she was very jealous and wanted to be the main relationship in Diddy's life. Cassie admitted that she was addicted to opioids and that Diddy was addicted to opioids too. So the defense asked the obvious question: was this sex trafficking and forced labor, or was it just a toxic relationship between two deeply broken people? They pointed to Cassie's own words that she sometimes wanted the freak-offs, that she sometimes initiated the freak-offs, and that she sometimes enjoyed the freak-offs. But it wasn't just with Cassie's testimony where the defense scored some points on cross-examination. Enter Dawn Richard, a huge name for the prosecution, a former singer with the group Danity Kane under Diddy's label. She was also part of the group Diddy Dirty Money and testified that she witnessed Diddy violently attack Cassie with a frying pan. But when the defense got their turn, they pounced. Dawn's story about the skillet didn't seem to hold up under pressure. Diddy's lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland, pointed out that in multiple prior interviews, including with federal agents, Dawn never mentioned that Diddy hit Cassie with the frying pan, just that he threw eggs at Cassie from the frying pan. So which was it, they asked? Soft eggs or a metal skillet? These are two very, very different things.
Now, you see, because I know Fahita is still watching. This is what some of y'all don't understand. You saying there's a big difference between somebody saying Diddy threw the pot or Diddy threw the eggs. It's two very different things. It's like me. That's like a woman. If she's hitting on me, she's pounding on my chest, hitting me on my back. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Versus now she grabs a chair and she's trying to swing it at me. And now I knock her ass out. See? And y'all may think, but it's drastic. No. Because somebody hitting me with their hands, I could duck and dodge. Now, somebody throwing a chair can cause bodily harm. Even though a chick, unless she's fucking China from WWE from Generation X, if she ain't China, most women, they're not gonna really do no harm on a man. But it's very different. It's very different. Cause eggs is not a weapon. A pot, that's a weapon. And people don't understand that. This is people. Why do you think you always hear me say to y'all in the comment section, when y'all guys speak and you articulate yourself in the comment section, please know how to talk. Please know how to speak. Know how to get your point across, because most people just vomit words out without knowing what they're saying. Then you got to be able to back it up. And not only do you got to be able to back it up, you got to back it up and back it up and back it up. Let's keep going. Listen.
And Diddy's lawyer didn't let off the gas.
Yep.
She pressed Dawn about a death threat that Dawn claims Diddy made after the eggs in the skillet incident. Dawn told the jury that Diddy threatened her, told her to stay quiet about what she'd witnessed, and that, quote, "Where I come from, people go missing if they talk," end quote. But Diddy's lawyers pointed out that Dawn had never said that before. Not to the FBI, not to the prosecutors, not once in 7 interviews.
So, what Diddy's lawyers are doing they're unraveling that the prosecution are trying to make them lie. People, listen to me. If Diddy is guilty, why are you trying to convince people into lying or making Diddy look like or lying on somebody if you have all the facts? People, if you have all of the facts, why do you have to convince people that you, the prosecution, are pulling up against Diddy? Why do you have to try to trick these people into lying against them if they're all telling the truth? This is why I tell y'all better subscribe to the channel, man, because nobody's breaking down what's actually happening the proper way. Ready? Hear me. You want to know why I say that? Because some of these content creators, listen, I ain't go to jail for murder. I ain't go to jail for none of this, but I did get snatched up for kidnapping. I do understand what it is to be in a courtroom and fight for my life. I do understand. See, most people's lack of experience is the reason why they should stay shut. Because people don't understand how certain people walk free. And from what I'm hearing, I don't see anything that Diddy did that he should be held for. This is just me, but let's keep listening, y'all.
Instead, Diddy's lawyers pointed out that Dawn said it for the first time when she was on the witness stand in this trial.
Crazy.
And Dawn was asked directly, "Why didn't you mention the death threat before?" Dawn's answer, "I'm doing my best to answer these questions. Those interviews were a long time ago." Diddy's lawyer shot back, quote, "A death threat that you didn't recall on 7 different occasions?" And then came the most brutal line of the day. Quote, "Would you agree with me that as time progresses, your story changes?" End quote. And Dawn replied, yes.
People, this is why I tell y'all gotta stop listening to these people who sensationalize this Diddy case. Here on this channel, we don't shout out to all the subscribers, man. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't really see it going off. Thank you so much for showing love to the page. Thank you. Hear me. Your support means a lot. People, why isn't nobody else bringing you these videos? Why isn't anybody else, the bigger content creators, why aren't they bringing you this information? You want to know why? Because they don't know where to look. They don't know how to look. They don't even know where to begin. But shout out to the Inner City Daily, man. Shout out to him. That man's in that courtroom every single day reporting things for us. Now, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. They only want the views. Right. False narratives. That's all it is. But let's keep listening.
But the defense didn't stop there. They asked why, if she was so afraid of Diddy, did she keep reaching out to him for years, asking for help, trying to restart the Diddy Dirty Money Band, and even sending him kind messages. And when asked why she was suing him now, Dawn replied, quote, "to be made whole," end quote. Diddy's lawyer followed up with, quote, "which means money," end quote. And Dawn replied, yes.
People, she never sued Diddy until she found out that Cassie got money. Then that hurt the prosecution. She wants to be made whole. That means money, right? Yes.
It was a strong blow, not just to Dawn's credibility, but to the government's case. Because if jurors think that she embellished even one thing, they may start to wonder what else isn't completely true, and who else might be embellishing too on this.
People, what have I been telling you since I started this case? Y'all need to subscribe to the channel, because today we found out that this case is guaranteed for the rest of the month. And I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it, y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all down each and every night. That's why I like to let all of the other content creators put out all their little false videos, so at nighttime I could just hit you over the head with nothing but the information. Now let's keep going.
And that's exactly what Diddy's lawyers are counting on. And then came the Punisher, a male escort named Sheree Hay.
Listen, people, Diddy made her do horrible things. He's such a... Diddy forced her. Diddy forced her. Lock him up. Lock up Diddy. Diddy's horrible. Diddy, lock him up. Listen.
He's a male exotic dancer who was hired by Cassie and Diddy on multiple occasions. He testified that Cassie was the one who set up the meetings, that Cassie was the one who paid him, that Cassie never seemed uncomfortable, never asked him to stop, even told him where to eat. He said that Diddy watched, directed, and was assertive, but that Diddy did not seem to force anything.
Every month, this Airbnb pays me in semi-passive income. Now, here's the thing. I don't own it, and I don't pay.
And then there were the assistants.
Hold up. So Diddy didn't... So hold up. So the Punisher said Cassie never looked uncomfortable. Yo. Slim said it's over. People, I'm just giving you a replay so you can understand how this thing is playing out. Stop listening to other content creators that are sensationalizing this case, y'all. Let's keep going.
David James and George Kaplan, employees of Diddy's, who testified that they were ordered to do the drug runs and to buy baby oil and to set up the hotel freak-offs. But they were also men who said they admired Diddy, even called him a god among men. One said he still texts Diddy every year on his birthday. They sent condolence messages when Kim Porter died. Men who said that he taught them what work ethic looked like, and men who said they enjoyed the perks of working for Combs Enterprises. These were assistants whose job it was to clean up the filthy aftermath of the freak.
See, that's what the defense attorney is showing. Cassie wanted to be Diddy's number one. So when you're with power, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. When you're with a powerful man, women tend to know and understand that they have to do things, perform certain ways in order to keep this man's attention. Why do you think I always tell you guys? Why do you think women tend to sleep with 50 the first night? Diddy, Jay-Z, the Drakes of the world, the Chris Browns of the world. Why? Because for them it's like, I may never be in this position again, so I gotta do whatever I can to stay in this man's in this man's grace, in this man's vision, is that being coerced? Or do women know that? Because women know that. You can't blame Diddy for that. So you're gonna blame Diddy because he busted his ass and became a powerful man. You're gonna blame Diddy for that? Really? Really? Let's keep going.
And despite all of that, George Kaplan said he stayed in touch with Diddy and that he still likes Diddy, and said, quote, "I felt guilty. I did."
So the man who testified still likes Diddy, still remains in contact with Diddy. This is all heard in the prosecution, B. This is why I told you. This is the reason why now they confirmed that Gina's not taking the stand. Now we all know this is the federal government, y'all. If they wanted to subpoena Gina and to come up there and talk against Diddy, they can. But if they do, it could hurt their case. Why? Because people, everything you're hearing so far makes Cassie out to be a liar. Everybody hurt Cassie. Everybody hurt Cassie. The Punisher, the freaking Dirty Money chick, Cudi definitely hurt Cassie. Cudi. Now I'm surprised Cudi didn't play it a little better by the hip, but let's keep listening.
But I was lucky to work for an icon, end quote. So where does all that leave us? Right now, we're still in the middle of the government's case. The prosecution is marching forward, and they're doing a hell of a job. Witness after witness, photo after photo.
So now you see, now you see her energy changed. The prosecution is doing one hell of a job. Now she did it correct. She had to report the facts about the defense and why possibly Diddy can go. But listen, we ain't done.
Video after video. But even without putting on a formal defense case yet, Diddy's lawyers are chipping away at the prosecutor's case.
This is a fact, people. Diddy's team didn't even start their work. Diddy's team didn't even start showing their part, start showing their end, doing what Diddy's team hasn't done nothing. And they already chipping away at the prosecution. But I told you, remember, who was there when I showed you the video where the former prosecution said, if Diddy walks, Diddy will never live a normal life again. They're gonna keep coming for him. They're gonna keep coming for him, and they're gonna keep coming for him because you're not gonna embarrass the feds, bro. You're not gonna do that. You're not. If they're gonna listen, they're gonna come for you, bro. They're gonna come right at you with everything they got. I told you, they're gonna hit them with the Carlo Gambino. They're gonna leave a police car in front of his house every single day just to make people aware and make people feel uncomfortable. It is what it is. But let's keep going.
What they're saying again and again is that none of this adds up to racketeering. That gross behavior, even abusive behavior, doesn't equal organized crime.
Right.
And that it certainly doesn't make Diddy the head of a criminal enterprise.
Right.
The jury has to believe that Diddy went far beyond being just a terrible boyfriend, a horrible boyfriend, an abusive boyfriend who committed crimes, yes, like domestic violence, that he's not charged with.
Right. And you see, she said it with a smirk. Cause this is the reason why I'm playing this video, y'all. Listen, I'm playing this video because she is not for Diddy. She is biased. She doesn't want to hear, but I'm playing this because when you're reporting, like me, when I'm reporting, you're supposed to be non-biased. I'm not for Diddy. I'm not for Cassie. I'm on the side of the law. But so far, the law has not proven anything. But now watch the next part of this video where she's arguing with the gentleman. Listen. Listen.
And so there's been a lot of evidence in this case. Really horrible evidence about him as a batterer, as not a nice human being. And that's great. But you know what? I think the government is still reeling from Penny Garagos' opening statement. I think she did a great opening statement because I think what she did was I think the government really thought that they were going to run away from him being a batterer. And they embraced him being a batterer. And when I say embraced, I didn't mean it endorsed it, but accepted it. Look, they said this is a case that you're going to see some horrific things that our client did. And they didn't make him look like he was a good guy. They said he did some horrific things, and that was important for them to do because that is to take the blunt out of the government's case.
So here's what I see if I'm just the 13th juror out here, okay?
Yeah.
I see a pattern of behavior that is being repeated over and over and over with every single witness, whereby the guy at the top of the enterprise uses all of his staff to lube up hotel rooms, to buy them tickets, to fly them Mann Act style over state lines. That's trafficking. I see bribery. Hey, take this stack of money and make sure nobody sees.
Now listen to the man explain, because people don't understand Mann Act. They don't understand trafficking. They don't understand. This is the reason why every night, y'all, I do this. After I let all the content creators run crazy, run free with all their fantasy stories, y'all come to me at nighttime and I give y'all guys the truth. I put y'all to bed nice and warm with the hot chocolate and nice cup of coffee in your belly with information that's substantial. Let's keep listening.
The video of me beating up my girlfriend, that's bribery. I see extortion. Hey, shut up or your career's over. Hey, shut up or you go, snitches get stitches. Those are all the predicate acts for, say it with me, racketeering. Why are you not seeing that?
They have to prove an enterprise, Ashley. They must prove an enterprise. Those are all bad acts, no question. But they need to prove an enterprise.
They're all his staff.
And his staff is not an enterprise. Then anyone is a racketeering enterprise. So all my staff, anything, if I did something wrong, I become a racketeering enterprise because I have staff, right?
You see, people, listen, people, anybody, they could fucking throw racketeering on fucking a man who owns a fucking supermarket. The freezer boy, he's part of my staff. I got the nigga who work in the deli, part of my staff. The people who fucking do the aisles, they part of my staff. Like, and people, they could throw racketeering on anybody. They have people listen to this man.
So if someone has their staff aiding and abet them doing something, that makes them a racketeering enterprise. Negative does not. That's not the way
I'm sorry, I'm going to argue with you. I am going to argue with you.
Listen. ASAP Rocky, Donald Trump, Alex Rodriguez. Look who this man is, B. This man is a big man. This man... See, people, why isn't anybody showing you these debates? Because they don't know where to look. This is why you subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications, y'all. Turn on your notifications. Let's keep going. Listen.
This is the first racketeering case of this kind on the books, period.
This is the first racketeering case of this kind on the books, period. There has never been a racketeering or RICO case on anybody where only one person went down. One. That's weird in itself. People are like, so where's the rest of the people that are going down with Diddy? They just want Diddy. People, this is not good.
Story.
It doesn't mean that isn't as bad, like trafficking isn't as bad as what the mob was doing by intimidating people into shutting up so that they could carry on their criminal enterprise.
Sex trafficking, I think, is worse than what the mob's doing. What, loan sharking or gambling or
killing,
garbage,
killing and chopping people.
You see? So now this man said, I think trafficking is worse than what the mob did. People, if you really pay attention, the mob, let me show you what the mob did. The mob took care of their own people. They kept their own community safe. Yes, they owned all the cement companies and all of this. They were into gambling, loan sharking and all that. Ready? People going to get money from a loan shark. Hold up. People, anybody that knows anything about loan sharking, are you going door to door like, hey, I need you to loan shark, I need you to use me? Or are people going to you? People, all they did was they took advantage of a flawed system. If people are coming to John Gotti to borrow money from him, they're coming to John Gotti. They're coming to nobody's forcing nobody to do nothing. Trafficking, but look, even right there when he said trafficking is way worse, she's like, well, I wouldn't really see, because she doesn't, this lady is biased. This is the reason I played this video. People, I know what I'm doing up here. Keep listening.
People's pieces off. But let me just put it this way.
That's the old mob. But putting it aside, terrific. I don't see evidence of trafficking. Trafficking? What are you talking about?
So Joe, the way it works, you buy a ticket.
Look, listen. Now she's trying to speak like she knows the way it works. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys catch all of that. I want you to catch all of this smoke.
Terrific. I don't see evidence of trafficking. What are you talking about?
So Joe, the way it works, you buy a ticket to fly a into wherever they flew to, because they flew all over the world and they flew across the states. That is trafficking 100%.
No, it's not trafficking, actually. That's the violation of the Mann Act.
It's illegal prostitution across. But the prosecutor said in her opening statement.
That's not trafficking. That is not trafficking. Trafficking has to be
but
without
it's using.
consent.
Now, she's arguing with one of the most prominent lawyers, and he's like, trafficking has to be without consent. If somebody flies in, now people, listen to me, because nobody else is breaking it down like this. Listen to me. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, y'all. Turn on notifications, hear me. If Cassie orders somebody from another state to fly in, it's not against his will. They're not wrapping him up, throwing him behind a plane and flying across. That's not what's happening. That person is flying in willing. Now it does violate the Mann Act. People, listen to me. I'm gonna say this again. Diddy is not on trial. Why don't you believe me? Why aren't you people fucking listening to me? I've been telling you since day one. When I heard everybody talking in the testimony and opening arguments, I said Puffy is not. Sean Diddy Combs is not on trial. Men are on trial. Specifically, powerful men are on trial. And I told you that. Why? Because I showed you the video where even Boozy, 2 Chainz, Future, all of these artists are like, if you're gonna lock Diddy up for the Mann Act, we've all violated the Mann Act. Fellas, I violated the Mann Act. Fellas, you have violated. Listen, me living in New York City, if I took a girl, let's say I wanted to take her to Atlantic City, I always say it, the minute I crossed that bridge, I violated the Mann Act. Me and her, it's consensual. We knew what we were gonna go there to do. We're gonna go there, hang out, have a good time. Atlantic City, we're gonna party. We're going to drink. We're going to the casino. We doing adult shit. But because I took her across state lines, I'm violating the Mann Act. Every man has done it. Every chick who's a butch, who took her girlfriend across state lines, has violated the Mann Act. People, two males together, and one of the men says, I got something planned for you. Oh my God, we're gonna go over here. And then they get on a plane and go somewhere. They're violating the Mann Act. People, I'm gonna say this again. This is not about Diddy. This is about controlling powerful men. That's what this is about. It's about power. It's about power. I'm gonna say it again. It's about a powerful man having power over people. That's what happens with power. People, so hear me. Listen to me. So what they're saying is this, fellas, hear me. We know that we live in a feminist ideology world where only a woman can remove consent down the road. Cassie could say, I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. No, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. He forced me. I didn't want to do it. But there's text messages where Diddy told her in 2015, we're not doing no more freak offs. And she's like, no, I want to keep doing it. I want this to be the first freak off for the rest of my life. Does that sound like coercion? Does that sound like somebody who got a gun to their head? Does that? So, I want y'all people to understand this. When all this is happening, this is a willing participant. This is Cassie showing how willing she is. But everybody has violated the Mann Act. People, you ready? What does the Mann Act sound like? Yeah, she's trying to keep her top spot. The Mann Act. Crossing state lines with the intent of sexual activities. Ready? Hear me, y'all. Hear me. Why do you think they decriminalize prostitution? Do I have to do live streams showing you guys Philly, New York, LA, Nevada, Washington, Seattle? Do I gotta show you the videos of all these places that have decriminalized prostitution and what those places look like? Women are walking in the street like it's nothing in the middle of the daytime. Why? Because it's not a crime anymore. Hear me. The Mann Act came about because dating, I'm going to say this again, people, dating. This is why I tell you, men, you don't date women. You don't date women. I'm going to say it again. You don't date women. You don't date. Don't date. You don't date women. Fellas, I don't date women. If a woman is hanging out with me, she's hanging out with me. If we happen to fuck, we just happen to fuck. That's what happened. But dating is a form of prostitution. It came from prostitution. When you took a woman out on a date, back in the day, you could get arrested. I've done videos on this. This is why when you weirdos be like, yeah, I'm dating. When you see, but already chicks will say, yeah, I'm dating multiple men. Guess what? They got the pussy, they got the pussy, and you got the money. If they selling it, if you buying what they selling, what does that make you? A prosti. Now, but I've been warning you fellas, get ready. We do that in Man Talk where I tell you guys, get ready. Cause you're gonna start seeing, remember, the other day, the 100,000 black women lost their job. It wasn't only black women, but other races too. Women are losing. Remember, the data showed there are more women who bought homes than men, because men don't need to buy houses. Men are simple creatures. But women buying homes, their homes are being foreclosed on, they being evicted. Why? Because now with the influx of the taxes and things, they thought that they were set on a mortgage until things changed, and now they can't afford to live there anymore. Fellas, I told you, get ready. Everything now for women is going to be a transactional relationship. I've been warning you about this for years. But let's dive back in. Let's keep listening.
Okay, but it's using your staff to buy the tickets to arrange it and bring them in. That's Mann Act and using your staff to do it.
That's Mann Act. If it's accepted, that's not trafficking. Trafficking has to be without consent. I've said to you from the day one we ever talked about this, this case will all boil down to the issue of consent.
Cassie has said.
I'm sorry.
Cassie has said.
When Cassie Ventura testified that the first time she brought this up was to a lawyer to get money, and I'm sorry, you get the question, women who say, oh, I never went to the police, I want to justify, I never went to the police, I asked for $30 million for a book manuscript, but that didn't work out. I said I want $20 million for a lawsuit. I filed the lawsuit, and I have text messages that are completely inconsistent with my on-trial testimony.
This nigga is ripping Cassie. Right. If this was criminal, why didn't she press charges? But then she's suing for $20 million. It's about the money, y'all. People, we gotta stop fighting this shit. We gotta stop fighting it. We gotta stop fighting it and pretending. Let's stop pretending, please. Can we just stop pretending for 1 second? Alright, y'all. Give me 1 second. So I want to change my sweater. Just got hot in here. Hold on 1 second. 30 seconds, y'all. Don't go nowhere. 30 seconds. I'm not sure if that was 30 seconds, but hey, this is the beauty of having a studio in your closet in the room. He said Portland, Oregon is a perfect example of that. Now let's keep listening, y'all. Let's keep listening.
Back to this episode of On the Case, I want to bring you a law and crime legal alert, because if you received a Depo-Provera birth control shot and you were later diagnosed with a spinal or brain tumor called meningioma LCDE, it's a fire investigator from the Los Angeles Fire Department. That investigator responded to the house of rapper Kid Cudi in LA in January 2012, and this is what they found. That is the rapper's Porsche, damaged from a Molotov cocktail. Yeah, an explosive built with a bottle full of flammable liquid that typically has a cloth inserted to act like a wick. Kid Cudi took the stand last week. He entered the courthouse smoking a cigarette, wearing a leather jacket, and a white t-shirt. Now, Kid Cudi's real name is Scott Miscudi. He dated Cassandra Ventura, Diddy's ex, the singer known as Cassie, briefly in 2011, and he says that Sean Combs did not like that one bit. Ventura and Combs were in an off-again, on-again relationship that started around 2008 and went to 2018. Kid Cudi testified that he thought, when he was with Cassie, that Ventura and Combs were done. Before we get into how Kid Cudi's car...
He thought. These are all words you guys gotta remember, man.
...almost engulfed in flames from a Molotov cocktail, it is important to remind you why an arson case is so important in the government's attempt to convict Sean Combs of racketeering. Arson is one of the predicate offenses under the RICO Act. The government needs to prove at least 2 underlying crimes to be guilty of racketeering conspiracy, and arson is one of those potential underlying crimes. So you can see why a potential burnt Porsche may go a long way in the government's case.
So this is why the defense was trying to throw this out, because the forensics showed the prints and everything that was there was of a woman. It was of a woman, not of a man. So you can see why they're trying to throw this out. Now, if the judge throws this out, this is bad. This is bad.
So to that burned Porsche started back when Kid Cudi says he and Ventura first started dating. Kid Cudi testified that he met Cassie at an event in New York in 2008. They also collabed on some music together, and then they briefly dated in 2011. Now, the rapper said, as he understood it, Cassie and, quote, Sean Combs had some problems, and they weren't dating anymore. But then Ventura told Kid Cudi that Diddy had found out they were dating. Now, Kid Cudi said he was confused because he didn't think that Diddy and Cassie were speaking anymore.
You see? I'm going to say this again. When Kid Cudi goes on the stand and says, I was confused because if you and Diddy are not together, why do I have to worry about this man coming for me if y'all not together? Like, fellas, there are women that I know that they've always made the excuse, oh, my children's father is abusive and XYZ. I'm like, why didn't you press charges? Cause it's the love. And it's, fellas, when you hear a woman say that, just fucking leave her alone, bro. Leave her alone. She wants to deal with that headache. She wants to.
He then testified that Ventura asked him to pick her up because she was worried that Diddy was going to show up at Kid Cudi's house because Diddy asked for Kid Cudi's address and she gave that address to Diddy. Now,
Cassie gave the address.
Then said that Cassie was told by a friend, Capricorn Clark, who was also testifying at the trial, she worked as an assistant to Sean Combs, that Diddy and an associate of Diddy were actually inside Kid Cudi's house because she was waiting in the car outside. Now, this was in December 2011. Kid Cudi said that he called Diddy. He confronted him on the phone about an alleged break-in to his house, and Kid Cudi said he then called the police, who filed a report. Then we get to January 2012.
Yo, hold on. So I just seen right now on my screen. So not only did Donald Trump pardon Larry Hoover, shout out to him for that. Donald Trump pardoned NBA YoungBoy. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk. This is crazy. This is. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk. Oh my gosh. No wonder why I'm seeing all my emails come up on the corner of my screen. I'm like, what is this? Oh, okay. It's Donald Trump going to work, y'all.
And this is key. Kid Cudi said he received a call from his dog sitter.
You know what? You know who Donald? I told you. If something happens to Diddy, I could see Trump pardoning Diddy. You know who Trump needs to pardon? I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. Y'all not gonna like me. Y'all all gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, oh my God. if y'all could sit here and all of y'all press conference, all of y'all news stations, if y'all all saying Cassie was a young girl at the age of 21, if a woman who is 21 is a young girl, I need them to free Carmelo Anthony. Free the 17-year-old young boy who made a mistake defending himself amongst people who are picking on him. It is what it is. It is what it is. Free Carmelo Anthony, because he was a young boy. He's a young man. Cassie was a grown-ass woman. People, I may give you, if Cassie was 18, 19, I probably would have said she was young. Okay, cool. She's still an adult. She's still an adult according to the state. But when I hear women like, Cassie was a little girl, she was 21. Man, mind you, everybody keeps saying Cassie was 18 when she got with Diddy. That's a lie. Cassie herself came out and said she was 21 when she first kissed Diddy. Her and Diddy did not get together till they were 22. But then here's the next excuse. She's still young. Her frontal interlude, her esophagus, her urethra is not developed. If you don't get the fuck out of here with these dumbass excuses, stop. Her fucking visionary glands is not developed. So stop. Let's stop this shit. Because then what happens is there's been a campaign that women can't stand. We've been saying, cool, so y'all need to raise the age of consent to 25. And you have young women like, why I gotta be 25 for? Why I gotta be? Because everything, when a woman is fucking 21, her fucking interlobe, her intestines is not developed. Like, it's always a fucking excuse for women's bad behavior when they're young. Can we just stop this shit? Because Carmelo Anthony is officially a young 17-year-old boy being tried as an adult. Free him. Fuck Cassie. She was 21. She told her girlfriend, I don't want to leave. Why you don't want to leave, girl? Because my cars and my house and my mansions and my lifestyle. And I want to... So she stood there because she wanted the money. She wanted the lifestyle. She left 3 different times. Bitch, why the fuck did you come back? Because she wanted the money. Stop it. Stop. I told y'all, here we don't play that shit. On this channel, we don't play them maricon games, man. We don't play them fucking suspect games. We don't do that shit here. If you don't like it, get the fuck up out of here. Straight like that. If you don't like the raw truth, don't be here. That's all I got for you here. That's all I got for you on this channel, y'all. I ain't got nothing but the raw, uncut truth. Sorry. Let's keep listening to this shit.
That his Porsche was on fire. Now, here are some of the images that the government submitted as evidence of the damage that Molotov cocktail left behind. Kid Cudi said he and Ventura were no longer dating at the time of this fire. Kid Cudi testified that he saw the Molotov cocktail in the front seat of the car and that police were called to his house. In one of the most candid moments of this trial thus far, when asked what his reaction was to his car being set on fire, Kid Cudi replied, "What the..." And you can fill in the blank on that one. Now, Kid Cudi said that he confronted Combs about his car. The two had a sit down to talk about Cassie, the alleged break-in, and what happened to his car. Kid Cudi testified at the end of that meeting. Kid Cudi says he stood up and shook hands with Sean Combs. Quote, "As I was shaking his hand, I said, what are we going to do about my car? I made sure to ask him right when our hands were clasped together, where he couldn't run away, and I could look him square in his eye, and he looked right back at me, a very cold stare, and said, I don't know what you're talking about." I said, okay. I took my hand from his and he said, wait, I thought we were cool. Is there a problem? I was like, you said you didn't burn my car, right? You said that's your word? And he said, yeah. And I was like, that's it. Cudi said that Combs was very calm during that part of the conversation.
So now, according to that testimony, Diddy's like, what are you talking about? Like, what car? Now, I will say this, y'all. Is it possible that Kid Cudi could be experiencing what Diddy going through with Cassie, with another female? Maybe he wham and bam, thank you ma'am, to another chick and try to burn his car. And then here's the funny part, y'all. Y'all have women out here like, why would a woman do that? Why would a woman want to burn his car? So we never heard of TLC. We never heard of the girl from TLC who burnt the nigga house down. Hold up. So we never seen the movie Stella Got Her Groove Back. Hold up. So we never heard of a thin line between love and hate. Hold on. Let's go to some scenarios. We never seen chicks key up a nigga's car. Right. Hold up. We never seen a nigga throw paint on a nigga's car. Hold up. Nah. What song was this? I bust the windows out your car and send a minute but that far. Remember all them songs? Remember that? Remember all that? People, women are notorious for being violent towards men. Notorious. Especially when a man leaves them, they're notorious for being violent. Why are we pretending like it's not possible that another woman could be the one doing this to him? We gotta stop the cap, man. We gotta stop this shit.
Heading into that line of testimony, Cudi had said that he thought Combs had something to do with the break-in and his car being lit on fire based on issues that they were having off of the relationship that he had had for a short period of time with Cassie. On cross-examination, the defense tried to poke holes in what Kid Cudi was saying and to raise questions about whether Diddy would actually have something to do with this alleged arson. The defense pointed out that no one has been charged in this case, even though police were called and the LAFD investigated. They also said that fingerprints and DNA were taken from the scene. Then the defense said to Kid Cudi, quote, "You know that DNA comes back to a female, right?" The rapper responded, "You said what now?" And the defense said the DNA comes back to the female. It seemed like that line caught Kid Cudi off guard.
You see? And I wouldn't be surprised if Kid Cudi didn't know that until that moment.
This week, the government filed this motion ahead of the testimony of this LAFD investigator they plan to call to the stand. And it seems like they're trying to get ahead of the argument that the defense is going to make in connection to that burned Porsche, that there's no physical evidence that Combs was there or involved, and it was a female's DNA that was taken from the Molotov cocktail, according to the defense. Now, the government said they plan to call the LAFD fire investigator who responded to Kid Cudi's house in 2012, but they wanted to stop the defense from questioning that investigator about DNA. Part of the motion reads, quote,
why? People, listen to what was said.
This week, the government filed this motion ahead of the testimony of this
government
LAFD investigator they plan to call to the stand. And it seems like they're trying to get ahead of the argument that the defense is going to make in connection to that burned Porsche, that there's no physical evidence that Combs was there or involved, and it was a female's DNA that was taken from the Molotov cocktail, according to the defense. Now, the government said they plan to call the LAFD fire investigator who responded to Kid Cudi's house in 2012, but they wanted to stop the defense from questioning that investigator about DNA. Part of the
people, listen, because nobody's breaking this down to y'all like this. Why would the government want to get ahead of the defense team so they couldn't question the fire chief about the DNA? Because they don't want this Kid Cudi's car situation if it gets thrown out, they lose another big piece of their case. People, this is one of the most unfair trials I've ever witnessed in my life. Why would you not want the defense to defend their client?
Motion reads, quote, investigator Jimenez did not collect the swabs personally, did not perform the testing himself, has no personal knowledge regarding the testing other than what is included in his report and the additional materials, and does not understand and cannot explain to what partial female DNA refers. The government also says the evidence doesn't talk about which part of the glass bottle the DNA was collected from. That was the first issue that was brought up in court Tuesday morning, and the judge overruled the objection, meaning the defense will have their chance to ask the LAFD fire investigator about the DNA and bring up what was partially found on that bottle.
Now, what did I tell y'all? Why people subscribe to the channel? Subscribe to the channel. What did I tell y'all? What did you hear me tell you on Tuesday? I said, when it came to Cassie, the only reason why I believed the judge did not let the defense go hard on Cassie is because she was pregnant. The only reason why they did not let the judge go hard on Cassie is because she was pregnant. But I told you, they're gonna give the defense something else. So now the government try to rush to get the testimony about the DNA removed from the defense's opportunity, and the judge was like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna let this man is on trial for his life. We gonna let this man, go ahead, question these niggas. Are y'all not seeing? This is we're watching manslaughter in front of our eyes. People, I just wanted you to hear that part. Now let's dive into this. I just wanted y'all to hear that part. See, you know what it is? Everybody else wants to make 27-hour long videos. I don't have to. I get to the point and I move on. I'm gonna say this again. All parties being spoken about are innocent until proven guilty. I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm not on Cassie's side. I am on the side of the law. And according to what I'm seeing being presented by the law, none of this is gonna hold up.
Where is victim 3 in the Sean Combs case, and did we just get official word she is not going to show up to court? We're diving into the latest developments, all the time she was apparently mentioned so far during testimony in this trial, and if she doesn't testify, is that a major loss to the prosecution? What about for the defense? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. What on earth is going on with victim 3 in the Sean Diddy Combs federal sex crimes case? I mean, this is something. According to CNN, victim 3 is not expected to take the stand, with a source quoted as saying she didn't want to testify.
Now, I'm gonna say this again. I already showed you who Gina was. Remember, Gina doesn't like Cassie. Cassie doesn't like Gina. Gina doesn't get along with Young Miami. Young Miami doesn't get along with Gina. Cassie doesn't like Young Miami. So all of them don't like each other. But they all know about each other. Now, I told y'all, after Kid's Cudi testimony last week, Monday, I said the dumbest thing that they can do is bring Gina up. Well, Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. I said the dumbest thing they could do is bring this girl Gina. If they bring Gina up to testify, Gina's gonna collapse the whole case. Let's listen.
We've talked about this in previous episodes of Sidebar. Came up during jury selection in this case, that victim 3, she apparently couldn't be found. Yeah, prosecutor Maureen Comey indicated to the court that they were having a tough time getting in touch with her or her attorney, and even if they did make contact with her, it wasn't guaranteed that she was going to show up to testify.
Now, people, this is the federal government. It wasn't guaranteed that she'll show up to testify. Bruh, they could subpoena her and she has to come on court. I told y'all, they are trying to quietly let her fade off, let her name die off, because she can hurt the case. Let's keep listening.
And during pretrial litigation, it came out that victim 3 actually wanted to testify not using a pseudonym, so she would be revealing her identity. So what's happening now is a little bit of an about face, right? Victim 3, by the way, was mentioned in Combs' superseding criminal indictment, where he has been charged with sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, racketeering conspiracy, transportation to engage in prostitution. In fact, it reads, Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims, including but not limited.
Keep being lazy about cleaning your apartment. No, seriously. Home Aglow will clean it for just $9.
Limited to 3 female victims, victim 1, victim 2, and victim 3, to engage in commercial sex acts. In connection with the commercial sex acts, Combs provided the victims with, among other things, monetary payments, career opportunities, and payment of rent and housing expenses. So, an important witness for prosecutors to establish a pattern of sexual exploitation and abuse, right? Strength in numbers, especially with Cassie, victim 1, her testimony last week that she was forced into performing these freak-offs with male sex workers. But who exactly is victim 3? Well, according to CNN, 3 sources familiar with the case confirm that it is a woman named Gina, who we have heard about a lot in this trial already, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit later. But why am I talking about this? Because other than the fact that reporting from CNN says she may not testify, what happened last week? Well, Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said this to the court. Your Honor, can I put something on the court's radar screen, a bigger issue? This all relates to Gina, who is out of the case. Gina is not coming. So I think the relevance of this has plummeted dramatically since we are not going to be having Gina as a witness. Then you got prosecutor Christy Slavic, who responded, Your Honor, Gina is very much a part of this case. We have heard plenty of testimony on Gina. She is certainly relevant. The jury has heard plenty about Gina. In fact, the defense has made her a central issue in the relationship between the defendant and Miss Ventura. Furthermore, Gina is identified in the indictment, and the government is entitled to present proof related to her. Agnifilo responds, my point is not an indictment issue. The government can call Gina if it wants to. It might be difficult. It might be hard to do. They are the United States of America. They can get Gina into this courtroom if that is what they want to do. They are choosing not to. Hey, everybody, this is a law.
Listen, people. Oh, they can reach out to her lawyer, but they may not be able to get her. They don't want to get her because she will destroy this case.
On crime legal alert. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? /food or scan the QR code on screen to learn more. So before I get into what was said about Gina in the trial so far, I want to break some of this down, try to make sense of what's happening behind the scenes. Let me bring on right now Rena Paul, former federal prosecutor, to talk about this. Rena, thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Listen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what is...
Right after this, I'm going to let y'all go. I need y'all to hear this. This is why I saved the best for last.
Going on with victim 3. Can you make sense of this?
Well, from the papers, victim 3 was mentioned in the superseding indictment, and she seems to be referenced as one of 3 victims that the government says in the indictment engaged in commercial sex acts, which we understand to be a reference now, hearing the evidence in the trial, to these freak-offs. What's happening in that colloquy that you just outlined from the defense and the prosecutor is a little hard to tell. It seems like the defense is both asking for Gina, or victim number 3, not to be included in the evidence submitted to the jury, but also that the defense has used that relationship as a motive for victim 1, which is Cassie, to testify or discuss her in the testimony of Cassie.
If they issued a subpoena for her to testify, doesn't she have to testify? Doesn't she have to appear?
Yes, a subpoena demands and requires legally the appearance of the witness, and the government could go even further if it wanted to, depending on the circumstances, to request what's called a material witness warrant. That is a piece of paper where the government requests and the court can allow for such a warrant to be issued if there is showing that such a witness is material. Now, I don't think that that's relevant in this case. I don't think that she is a material witness such that it would warrant that. But yes, I mean, to your point, if she is subpoenaed, she should be required to come.
But the problem is, if you force her to testify, and I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if there's a location issue, if something happened, if she is just reluctant, she doesn't want to testify anymore in this case. But assuming that's what it is, if you force her to testify and you're the prosecution and you were relying on her testimony, what happens if she is not as compliant as she was in the past? What happens if she refuses to answer questions? She says, I don't remember. She's more of a hostile witness. That could backfire for the prosecution, right?
The prosecution in general takes witness.
Girl, what did you put in this product? My hand is growing like wheat.
Seriously, if you want to add inches,
witnesses as they find them. So the purpose is to get truthful testimony right on the witness stand. If that truthful testimony is inconsistent, incomplete, potentially hostile, I guess, to the government's case, then they take it where they find it. The witness comes on to stand to swear to tell the truth, and that's what is meant to happen. The government needs to abide by that.
But do you think they know where she is? Do you think there's a conversation happening with her or her attorney right now about negotiating what her testimony is going to be, whatever reservation she may have? Is that something that's typical in a case like this? I mean, I guess I have to ask you. I think she's an important witness, and we'll talk more about it, but she can't be the first person who has, again, I don't know this for sure, but assuming she has cold feet, she can't be the first witness who's like, I don't want to do this, and I'm not showing up.
Yeah, and let's talk about the difficulty of being a witness in general. I've been a federal prosecutor, a state prosecutor. I'm now in practice working in sexual misconduct cases, and I can tell you that there are many reasons why it's difficult to show up to a witness stand. I read through a motion that the government filed before the trial began, asking for a pseudonym to be used for the victims that are referenced in the indictment. And the government said that they were seeking to prevent unnecessary public disclosure of the victims' identities and the harassment from the media and others, undue embarrassment and other adverse consequences that would almost certainly follow if these women were forced to reveal their true names publicly at trial. And we have seen the barrage of media about this case, so certainly that makes sense.
But I guess it does feel strange, right? If she wanted to testify not using a pseudonym or was seemingly open to it, there might be something going on. Is it unusual that her or her attorney would not be responding if that reporting is true? What do you make of that?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say without more information, but in general, thinking about testifying as a witness is a difficult prospect. You have to show up, you have to walk up into a public stand, you have to take
especially in a case like this, yeah.
Yeah, where there's media, inevitably you're going to be revealed publicly in some way. There are a lot of considerations and complications around the desire to testify versus what the actuality of testifying is for any person that goes up into a witness stand.
Can the defense bring up that she didn't show up? Can they bring that up? If she never comes to the stand, she doesn't testify, can the defense raise that in some sort of cross-examination or closing argument?
Well, it's a good question. I'm not sure who else they could ask about her. It doesn't seem that she has from what I have read, which is not everything, it does not seem that there is another attachment to this victim, meaning I'm not sure who they could cross-examine about her presence, her lack of presence.
But could they say in a closing argument, and because we're going to get into her, she was mentioned, if we're assuming victim 3 is Gina, mentioned multiple times, can the defense say, you know, they talked about multiple victims. They couldn't even get one of the victims to come forward. She didn't want to testify. Maybe she realized that, you know, she had a guilty conscience. She falsely accused Sean Combs, didn't want to be the government's puppet. I'm just making up an argument here. It came off the top of my head. But could the defense say that in a closing argument, or no, that wouldn't be allowed?
This comes down to reading the indictment and what the government is said they are going to prove versus what the evidence has showed. So when the defense is making their closing, strategically, I think they will pick and choose depending on what has come out and what is in line with their defense. I did not see a sex trafficking count in the indictment for victim 3. Certainly,
that's correct.
That would be a difficult count to keep going if there is no one testifying to that evidence. So those kind
That's what I wanted you to hear. So it wouldn't be that Gina would be testifying against the S trafficking. Gina would be there solely to testify against his physical violence. Yet again, it has nothing to do with the RICO case. There is no S trafficking. Clearly, Gina stood. She's there. She's been with Diddy through Kim. She's been there through Cassie, and she's been there through Young Miami. People are staying on their own free will. People. This case is falling apart by the seams. But I keep telling y'all, don't be surprised if y'all start seeing. If Diddy walks, y'all start seeing some of y'all favorite content creators lose their page. Because they're not me. They're not being non-biased. They're not just presenting evidence and speaking on it. They're trying to sway public opinion to say Diddy's wrong, Diddy's this, and Diddy's that. I don't give a shit about either one of these people. None of them pay my bills. But I'm not with Diddy. I'm not with Cassie. I'm on the side of the law. And according to what the law is presenting, they don't have a case. But listen, y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to let y'all guys go. Let y'all have your evening. Listen, I appreciate y'all. I love you for always rocking out with me. Thank you for always showing up, showing out, showing love. Y'all already know. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. I'm back on it again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we are having Man Talk in the morning. We are having Man Talk in the morning. Man Talk 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Denver. So yeah, I'm 2 hours behind New York. I'll see y'all in the morning. We're gonna have a really good topic, y'all. Fellas, be ready. Be ready. I see y'all in the morning. For the 20 ladies that tuned in, y'all could be there too. I see y'all in the morning too. I love y'all too, you heard? I love y'all too. Y'all just be the sisterhood. It is what it is, man. Y'all be weird with this shit sometimes. But I love y'all. I see y'all in the morning. Y'all tu sabe. Wepa.